At some point during the last school year, more than 150,000 New York City public school students were homeless. That's according to new data released by Advocates for Children. They crunch these numbers every year. This is the first time that that number is above 150,000 and the 10th year in a row that it's above 100,000. I'm New York One education reporter Jillian Jorgensen, and let's talk a little bit more about this data. All told, 154,000 children were homeless during the last school year in the city under the federal definition of homelessness. That includes 65,000 children who spent at least one night in a city homeless shelter. It also includes 82,000 children who were doubled up. That's a term for when you lose your housing and you're staying with somebody else. And then another 7,000 students were in motels, hotels, or otherwise unhoused. Many of them are chronically absent. That means they're missing at least 10% of the school year. 40% of families are placed in a different borough than where their child goes to school when they enter the shelter system. A lot of parents want to keep their child in the same school, and they are federally entitled to remain in their school even when they become homeless. The city is responsible for getting them back to their school, but it can take weeks to set up that yellow school bus to come pick children up from their shelter and bring them to their old school. Really long commutes that really disincentivize students from getting to school every day. I spoke to one mom who was in and out of the shelter system with her child, who's now in the 5th grade, and she described changing her child's school 5 times over the course of several years as they bounced around from shelter to shelter, simply because it was just too difficult to get from one school to another. Finally, her child got a yellow school bus, and she said that didn't solve anything. Her child was leaving home at 5:30 in the morning to get to school, not getting home until after 6 o'clock at night. She said the bus often just didn't show up. She didn't get information about why the bus wasn't coming or that it wasn't coming, and then she would have to take her child in an Uber. It can make it very difficult for these parents to make it to their housing appointments, for them to make it to work when students have to travel a far way, and it's much easier if they can be placed in a shelter that's close to their original school. That's not always happening, and it's not always easy to make happen. We'll have a new mayor in January, and Advocates for Children is urging whoever that mayor is to really set up a multi-agency approach to dealing with this and making sure that these students are placed closer to their schools, that they are getting to schools on time, that the school buses are serving them well. They say that all of these things can help these children now, that it's important to prevent homelessness and help people maintain their housing. You can tap the link in our bio if you want to learn more about this data and about this long-standing problem for students in New York City.